Gather round. It's story time with Tam. But first, how you feeling? Thank you so much for being. Yeah, I can move that for now.
We need to see you.
Thank you.
All right.
First things first.
Needy crowd tonight. Oh, I love this place so much. Don't you love City Winery? It's my favorite venue in Nashville. It's the best place to see music. It really is. And the food's incredible. And the logo looks like bacon. Didn't anyone else think that? You didn't, did you? Am I the only one that's always looking for bacons? That's not this story. There is a story that involves bacons. And if you don't know, Google it. Yeah. Did y'all see my mom and Aunt Linda back there? There's a pretty great story about Aunt Linda as well that involves lard. I'm not going to tell that one either. If you haven't seen it, Google it. But my mother is here. She drove all the way up from Texas. Give it up for that. And I know a lot of you, I know you want to tell me like how far you came and you're like really proud of it. We came all the way from Alabama. Did you not sense the sarcasm in that? That's Alabama for you. But the point is, I'm sure a lot of you came from all over North America, and that's neat. But we got some ladies who came from Germany, so shut up, the rest of you. My fan base is my demographic. The core demographic is seasoned.
That's a retarded as well.
It's I'm looking around and I see a lot of salt and pepper. That's what I mean by seasoned. But it wasn't a demographic that I set out to attain. But like most things in my life, it just worked out in my best interest. Because of course, when you first getting into music, like in my case, like most men, you're trying to impress young girls. And then I learned pretty quickly that young girls don't have money to spend on me. So I just want to preface this story by saying I'm happy to have all you seasoned fans. Just know that thank you for being here and for spending your money on me. There wasn't much applause because they're all holding their cameras right now to capture this story time. And they're all gonna race to be the first ones to upload it to YouTube. But anyway, so this is sort of, I'm gonna tell a couple stories that are sort of about my seasoned fans. And just thinking back to what got me, what motivated me in the first place to get into music, start writing music, versus where I am. So this is called Look Ma, I'm a Rock Star. Story number one. I sing with a group called Home Free. Anyone heard of them? I was doing a show not that long ago, and again, when you get into music, you visualize, undergarments being thrown at you on stage, and that hasn't happened one time.
Not true.
My fans said like root beer on stage, and that's neat. I prefer that actually. But I did get a hat thrown at me recently. It was a ball cap, and it was during the encore last song, so I put it on my head, did the rest of the song, and then went off stage and took it off and looked inside of it and quickly regretted putting it on my head. It wasn't in the best interest of my health or hygiene to have done that. But then I realized that I felt something kind of inside the hat. There was a zipper, and there was clearly a wad of something in there. And I was worried it was money. If it was money, I was going to return it to the person who threw the hat, most of it. It was sweet and low packets. Look, Mom, a rock star. I'm getting sweet and low thrown at me on stage. Let's see, well, I had another story and it's already escaped me, so maybe... Oh, no, I remember what it was. Some of you know this story. Karen knows it really well. I think the biggest moment in my career thus far that has just filled me with joy and made me say with gusto and tongue-in-cheek, look, Ma, I'm a rock star. And that was when I hit a low note and it knocked a lady's false teeth out of her mouth. Y'all, I'm not making this stuff up. This is 100%. That stuff really happened. It's her sister. I'm just gonna tell you. It's not her. It's her sister. If you don't believe me, ask her, and she'll tell you all about that. And finally, I would like to just make sure we really kick this evening off with a bang. So I'm gonna close out story time by talking about barnacle penis. That's gonna be my legacy, isn't it? I've never said anything that got that reaction. Some people just yell that out at shows now, and it means nothing to most people. It just sounds like Tourette's, you know? So, in case you've heard barnacle penis being yelled out at my show, I'll tell you why. I was doing a show in Portland, Oregon, and a friend of mine named Catherine Roy came to that show, and she is a children's author and illustrator, and she is specialized in a lot of nautical, aquatic stuff, a lot of sea life, and so she's gotten to do some really cool things like live on ships with marine biologists and study marine life and learn a lot of interesting factoids. And the one she shared with me moments before I went on stage is that up to 90% of a barnacle's body can be its penis. Now, before you clam up, pun intended, these are science words, so grow up. This isn't cheap humor. It's not just cheap humor anyway. This is about science, so let's all learn something together. I'll be honest, barnacles weren't really on my radar before that conversation, but all of a sudden I'm filled with admiration for those little creatures. Anyway, she went on to explain that, you know, they're fixed in place, and they have to be able to reach other barnacles fixed in other places, sometimes at distance. You're picturing it now, aren't you? That's not my fault. Anyway, she shared that with me, and our truck driver John overheard this, and John came over to me right before I went on stage, and he said, "I'll bet you $20 you can't get barnacle penis into your show tonight." Well, John owes me about $160 at this point. 180, counting tonight. Yeah, I took that bet and I talked about barnacle penises, peni? I don't know, for some time during that show, and without warning, my bandmates were not privy to this conversation, nor did they hear the bet. So all of a sudden, I'm just talking about barnacle peni in the show, and I hear Rob off microphone say, "What the hell is happening right now?" Finally, we got around to the whole point of the story, and it was a fun experience. We all learned something together, and I thought that would be it. I thought, all right, one and done, and I was wrong, because we got to the next show, which was in Idaho Falls. And there was a sign language interpreter on stage with us. Well, I wasn't going to squander that opportunity. So I told that story again, and I said it a lot. I really said it a bunch of times because the audience seemed to enjoy it. You know, I'd say barnacle penis, and then us, like the whole audience and us, would all turn and look at this poor lady. She was a good sport, but she would just go and then sign it. And it turns out there is not a sign for barnacle, so she had to spell it out. Does anyone know how to do that? Yeah. There it was. That's barnacle. I had to think really hard about that. There is, however, a sign for the next word. And would you like to learn it? Okay. It's real simple. I don't know the origin of it, but you're welcome in advance. Here's how it goes. For this side of the room. Look, Mom, a rock star. Talk about a good sport. Give it up for my mother one more time, would you? Are you ready for some music? Well, I guess I should bring some